That's between me and God.
Well, for your sake, Caiaphas, I sure hope that your God has a more forward-thinking attitude than Judas's God has. Step down. You're excused.
Caiaphas the elder, Judas approached you at the temple, correct?
Correct.
He didn't have to approach you at the temple, yes?
No.
And yet he did.
Yes.
Of his own free wills and desires.
Yes.
And accepted payment for his betrayal.
Yes.
Payment, Caiaphas the elder. Judas did not say, Caiaphas the elder, put your money down, mister. This one's on the arm, correct?
Correct.
I think we all understand the precarious position you are in, trying to protect your citizens from Roman reprisal.
It makes you feel good to say that, doesn't it? After 2,000 years of persecution and vilification, you finally get around to saying, oh, hey, we know it wasn't you and your people's fault. Is that it?
I was merely trying.
Win your case, right? I tell you people what. You call me, I come. You question, I answer, but never say you understand the position I was in, because you have no idea the position I was in. People who need forgiving, people who perpetrated the lies and exaggerations that became sacrosanct fact that led to the hatred and violence for the past 2,000 years, they are the ones who need forgiving, and not by you, but by me and my people. The writers of the Gospels are the ones who need forgiving, and not me. No, sir. I know what it means to suffer. Do you? I don't think so. Julius, my best to Frank.
Yes, sir.
You're very handsome, Caiaphas.
If I am, it's because God made me, not because you said so. Hey.
My name is Thomas. At the Last Supper, I was the first to say that I would die for Jesus. I was also the first to head for the hills during night when the Romans came and arrested him. And when Jesus resurrected, I was also the guy who said I wouldn't believe he was who he said he was, unless I could see with my own eyes the holes in his hands and inspect them and touch them, like I was some qualified medical examiner or something, like House. But the thing of it was, he showed me them. And not only that, he let me touch them. In a ministry based entirely on the virtues of faith, he gave me proof when I had none. When I had no faith, he gave it to me for free. Now, I don't know why I got the benefit of my doubt, and, well, Judas didn't get help with his. Now, I'm not saying this because I like the guy, because personally, I thought Judas was a bit of a jerk. See, Judas was the kind of friend, where, at least with me, where one minute he's your friend, and the next minute he's making fun of you in front of everybody. Judas liked to say that the reason Jesus had to do the miracle of the loaves and the fishes was because I ate it all when no one was looking. And stuff like that. But other times, he could be real nice. Like, once, we were partnered together to go into town to heal people and cast out demons, and well, I had some problems that day. Everyone I tried to heal ended up getting worse. Like, one woman almost blinded, and another guy went into convulsions. But Judas, he healed them. He really did. And that tells me his faith was gentle. And when we got back to camp that night, he didn't tell anybody how I had messed up. In fact, he said I did a good job, and I appreciated that. Now, I knew Jesus knew it wasn't true, but I still appreciated the gesture. I thought it showed largeness on Judas's part. Judas, He was a jerk, but he wasn't petty or shallow. He wasn't the best, but he was far from the worst. He was pretty large. Jesus liked him a lot, in fact. He was up there in the top 3, next to Mary Magdalene and Peter, who, by the way, could also be a bit of a jerk, too. See, the thing with Peter was, never talk about fish. The guy was crazy for it. Say one thing wrong about fish, and well, forget about it. The guy would go crazy. Anyways, some people say that Judas did what he did because he was greedy, and personally, I think that's wrong. See, Judas wasn't wandering around the desert for 3 years with a bunch of ragamuffins like us because he was looking to get rich. Other people say that the devil got into him, and again, wrong. Judas was obsessively loyal. He would have taken on the devil and his entire army if he had to, 1 against 1,000, and he would have done it with relish. Other people say that Judas knew the ship was sinking, and he was getting himself enough to fall back on. And, well, listen, Judas was not a fallback guy. He was 100% fall forward. And that, to me, deserves some consideration. I wasn't fall forward, not by a long shot. Neither were most of the others. Judas was a jerk, but he deserved better. Just one sense of opinion.
Next witness!
Your Honor, at this time, defense would like to introduce Exhibit A14, ancient surveillance footage of an event that occurred nearly 24 hours after Jesus' arrest. Lights, please.
I'm gonna kill you!
I'm gonna kill you twice!
Good pound, see this? It's gonna be like Centurion! It's time to kill!
Time to kill!
Go pillage your village!
Yeah, take your
You
cattle!
gonna kill your cattle too! And your sheep! And your lambs!
And your chickens!
Pot like in the cats at your grandmother's with that beat! Yo, what's all this race about?
All hail Bunchfight! Hail, hail, hail!
Is there a problem here?
Judas! Trying to retire!
This guy right here, huh?
Jesus scared.
From the Jesus of Nazareth crew.
Yep, this guy right here.
Jesus is innocent, man.
Start heading him down!
Yeah! Come on now, Judas. I'm saying who says? Hold up a sec. Yo, Kurt, what they call themselves?
Sanhedrin, sir.
Right, I'm saying head sons. They paid you 30 pieces of silver. That's 4 months' wages, and that ain't no chicken feed.
Look, I made a mistake. You gotta understand.
Oh, I understand perfectly, Judas. You sold out your brother. So now you feel guilty, and you're trying to come in here and talking about how it was dark. I kissed the wrong guy. Oh, we Romans, man. Romans don't dance that song.
I'm recanted.
Yeah, recant. Hey, fellas, remember the last time I strolled up in here talking about how we recant? DJ Crew, you don't want to do that? What you need to do is relax, brother. Take the wife to a puppet show or something.
Look, but Jesus is innocent.
Look, listen, Judas. We don't give no good nothing about this Jesus. Just a guy who talks a lot. Everyone talks a lot. Even I'm known to talk loud every once in a while. We ain't trying to lay no heavy charge on the Nazareth boy. We're just gonna beat him down a little, make them Sanhedrin calls happy, so we can all live in peace. I mean, Judas, don't you want to live in peace? Isn't that what we all want? And after all, brother, ain't like we looking to crucify him. Or stick him.
Defense calls Pontius Pilate.
I object!
On what ground?
On the grounds that it is objectionable.
Overruled.
Oh, but it is objectionable. I can sense it, although I cannot put it into words.
Overruled.
Oh.
Babe,
Pontius Pilate.
babe. Pontius Pilate?
That's right, baby.
But are you a licensed pilot?
Sit down.
just going to receive a beatdown, correct?
On the advice of the council, I cite my right to plead the Fifth Amendment.
You bear the responsibility for the death of Jesus Christ, not Judas, but you. Isn't that right, Pontius Pilate?
On the advice of the council, blah, blah, blah. Your Honor, I got 2 p.m. tea time. Can I go now?
This won't take long, Pontius.
Judas came down to your tent and begged you on bended knee to take the money and release Jesus. He recanted. You refused him. He tried to return the money, first to the Sanhedrin, then to you. Do you deny that?
Hey, if I messed as bad as that cat had, I would have tried to rebate them ducats too.
So you admit that he did try?
No, I did not admit that he tried. Did you hear me admit that?
We all know what happened, Pontius. We just saw the tape.
Ain't nothing on the so-called tape implicates me of anything but trying to find a peacefully non-lethal solution to a potentially incendiary problem.
Right. Mr. Pilate, you were the 5th prefect of Judea, correct?
Correct.
A prefect being what?
Governor, also known as procurator. My official title was hegemon.
Hegemon.
Translated from the Greek, it means excellence.
I see. And you governed, or procurated, over Judea from 26 to 36 AD, correct?
Longest 10 years of my life.
Why do you say that?
You ever been to Judea, Missy? It ain't Paris, France. Believe that.
I see.
Yeah, that Moses must have read the map backwards, misplaced his bifocals or something. 'Cause if that was the promised land, them Jews should have held out for a better promise.
You didn't care for Judea much?
Care for it. Armpit of the empire, if you ask me. No atmosphere, nothing. Hot, dirty, dusty, flies everywhere, complete lack of culture and amusements. I'd rather spend 10 years up in Alcatraz. But Augustus, he ordered me to keep the peace there, so I obeyed my emperor and did my duty.
And you kept the peace?
The Pax Romana, baby. Prime directive. That's right.
And under your rule, how was the peace kept in Judea?
By any means necessary.
Violently?
Violently or otherwise. It was free to have any ways they wanted.
According to Philo of Alexandria, who wrote about you in 41 CE, your tenure as governor of Rome was noted for its constant, repeated executions without trial, wanton injustices, graft, and ceaseless cruelty. Care to comment?
No, I did not.
Under your reign, how many death sentences would you say you were?
Oh, a lot. And don't apologize for that, because them Jews was rowdy.
Rowdy.
Yeah, rowdy. As in not docile. As in someone had to put his foot down.
Did you put it down, didn't you?
Damn Skippy, I did. Orders from Rome. What's a brother to do?
And during your reign as governor in Jerusalem, how many crucifixions would you say you ordered?
A lot less than my predecessor, that's for sure. That idiot would crucify a semi for yelling fire at a barbecue party. Man would go buck wild from jump. Me? I'll reduce crucifixions in Palestine by 70%. Now that's documented.
Well, that's lovely, Mr. Pilate, but I'll ask you to answer the question posed to you.
Which was that?
How many crucifixions did you preside over during your time in Jerusalem?
I'd say a few hundred, give or take. So what?
Over 700 crucifixions while on assignment in Judea. Does that sound about right?
Sound good to me. Sure.
And you publicly washed your hands of how many of them, Mr. Pilate?
I don't know what you mean by that.
I mean, other than Jesus of Nazareth, out of over 700 crucifixions that you ordered, was there any other instance in which you publicly washed your hands and attempted to abdicate responsibility for your actions, Mr. Pilate?
I don't recall.
You backpedaled because you knew it was wrong, didn't you?
Romans don't have backpedals.
You knew Jesus was a holy man or a fool, but whatever he was, you believed him when he said his kingdom wasn't on earth.
See now, I don't recall that conversation.
You don't recall that conversation? Why don't you say that again, Mr. Pilate, so I can slap a perjury charge on you? You alone ordered the death of Christ, and then you pawned it off on Judas's impetuousness and Jesus' reticence and the politics of the Sanhedrin and the rowdiness of the Jewish people. Isn't that so, Mr. Pilate?
You can go on squawking if you want to. My conscience is clean. What you need to do is take it up to them Jews.
Mr. Pilate, were the high priests authorized to issue a death sentence?
No, there was not.
Was King Herod authorized to issue a death sentence?
No, he was not.
How about the Jewish people themselves? Were they authorized to issue death sentences if their women fancied?
No.
One man, in all of
try here. Because last time I checked, it was your client, Judas Iscariot, freezing his no ass off in the ninth circle of hell, not me.
My client recanted with a remorseful heart and was ignored.
Then you need to go take it up with them Jews, not me. I mean, this ain't some new theory I'm introducing to you. It's documented. Ain't no Sherlock Holmes, Nancy Drew mystery here, lady. Them Jews was cantankerous, ornery. They worshiped a jealous, vengeful, and angry God. And guess what? Surprise, surprise. They were jealous, vengeful, and angry themselves. I never had a problem in Judea that wasn't caused by some rabble-rousing, no-account Jew.
It's always the Jews, isn't it, Mr. Pilate?
Well, it sure wasn't Judea, miss.
You want to know what I really think? Mr. Pilate, I think this whole story about you hemming and hawing about what to do with Jesus is a load of made-up crap, written by Jewish Christian evangelists seeking to broaden the appeal of the Jesus story to the rest of the Roman Empire. There is nothing we know about you, Mr. Pilate, nothing at all, that would suggest you would even have a passing hesitation in putting any Jew to death, let alone a revolutionary figure like Jesus, who was being proclaimed the Messiah, who entered the city to crowds of cheering supporters and who the very next day had incited a riot at the temple. You hated your assignment, you hated Judea, and Mr. Pilate, you hated the Jews. Hated them. You hated them because they contested you. You hated them because they fought back. You hated them because they clung to their religious beliefs and were willing to die for them. But most of all, you hated them because you knew they were stronger than you. I think that bothered you a great deal. I think it made you feel vengeful and resentful and furious. I think it made you feel small and inadequate. I think it gave you skin irritations and nervous tics. I think it kept you up nights and made you count the days until you could return to the safe bourgeois comfort of Rome. That's what I think. I think you're hiding behind historical inaccuracies and outright lies, Mr. Pilate. I think you're a liar and a fraud. I think that when Jesus was put before you, you did not see a holy man or a prophet or a God or an innocent. You didn't even see a human being. I think what you saw before you that morning was one more Jew. You didn't hesitate. Why would you? You didn't wash your hands, Mr. Pilate. History did it for you.
I think I've had enough.
If you were a man, Pilate, you'd own up to the truth.
The truth? Whose truth you talking about, man? The truth is, I was made a saint of the Ethiopian church. The truth is, I was in the martyr for the Christian church in 348 AD. That's the truth.
A Christian martyr.
Did I stutter, Cody?
Well, I guess that's what they mean about mystery being a lie agreed to.
A lie. What you know about what's a lie? That's the truth. What you know about my history? All you got to go on is some book written 4 different ways by 4 different Jews. Who weren't even there in the first place? What do you know about my life after Palestine? What you know about what I might have did or didn't do after I got back home to the motherland? That's right. You don't know jack, do you? But I'm tell you something. You, and your presumptuous nature reminds me more and more of my ex-wife. Rhonda. Every minute, and believe me, that ain't no compliment. Yes, I met that Jesus boy. Seemed like a fine fellow. Dressed like a hobo and smelled like a goat. But give that boy a shot iron shave in the shower, you would be basically all right. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Unlike Judas, that Nazarene boy had character. He didn't come up with me crying and groveling like a baby. He faced me like a man, like a Roman almost. That impressed me. We were just willing to have me clubbed in his head for a couple of hours, redirect his youthful energies. But them Jews were having none of that. You can say what you want, think what you want. But them Jews were fixing to pitch a fit until that boy was served up for lunch like a chicken in a skillet. They had the numbers on us that weekend. 200,000 strong converging for the city for their high holidays and ready to rumble at the drop. I did what I had to preserve the peace. Why? Because that was my job. I did my job, and now you want to call me a liar? Question my character and my veracity? I'm a golden lady, 100%, 24/7. We never close. I have a tattoo. Veritas! And that means truth. And that means my honor is defined by my integrity, and my integrity is defined by my truth. And I defy you, here and now, that you will produce one shred of evidence to support your wild and defamatory claims. You better check the resume 2 times before you try to start sweeping your dirt under a Roman's rug. I'm clean like a dove and ready for love, missy. I live in heaven. Where you living, girlfriend? I'll tell you what, though. After you get your head straightened out, call me if you want to. I'll take you down to the Aqueduct for some pizza. Show you my tattoos. Any more questions?
I think, Mr. Pilot, you told us all that we need to know.
All right, then now, I'm gonna roll out. Welcome my show.
The witness is excused.
Your Excellency, Hedge Mon. Just one question, if I may.
What's that?
Yes. Yes, I wonder if you would tell the court, Hedge, the following. If indeed Judas Iscariot came to your tent to recant, and I'm not saying he did or didn't, and by the way, the only gospel that says anything about Judas recanting is Matthew, so it's 3 against 1, I wonder if you could tell the court, please, the following. When Judas came to your tent to recant, if in fact he did, and I'm in no way seeking confirmation of herewith, but however, if the Greek was miraculously correct, and Judas did in fact come to your tent to recant, and return his tarnished silver, tell us now, please, and this is very important. Hedge, did you get the sense or impression that Judas was recanting out of a genuine remorse and fear and concern for Jesus? Or do you think he was doing it out of a neck-saving, personal fear that can, of the dire consequences and the everlasting repercussions of betraying our just Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the divine Son of Man?
I'm a man. The defense counsel may dispute this, who happens to know something about remorse, personally or otherwise. In my day, I looked into the eyes of perhaps 10,000 accused men and sat in judgment of them. I spared a few and executed plenty. I sent many to face the whip, the cell, the gallows, and the cross. And I sent a few home as well. The thing is, remorse is rare. But when you see it, it is unmistakable. Judas Iscariot had no remorse. His fear left no room for it. His fear was 100% ego-driven and self-serving. 100% panic, 0% remorse. If you believe nothing else, believe that.
Thank you, Hedge. Thank you, indeed.
Next witness.
Defense reconjures Satan to the stand.
Luke, you come in now. Bailiff, go fetch him.
Sir, hello?
Go!
I'll come with you, come on.
Have a seat, Luke.
I want to file a formal freaking complaint, Frank.
This isn't about the turkey roll in the cafeteria again now, is it, Luke?
No, this is not about the turkey roll in the cafeteria. What this is about, Frank, is that I recognize a couple of your court officers at the vending machines. Ask me how I recognize them, Frank.
Luke.
No! No! Don't you Lou me, alright? God has been stealing souls again, hasn't he?
Bailiff, escort the jury out.
Okay.
And you, Honeywell. That's right. You're next on my freaking list, Hasty. So don't expect any last second reprieve. Shorts and tank top stretch. Pack light.
This is unacceptable behavior, Blue.
You don't tell me what's unacceptable, okay? Those two court officers